Going on, everybody? Hit pause back for the next part of this tutorial. We're still working on the scope here. Surface wise, I think it looks okay. It looks pretty metal. Scope spec. What did I actually do with this? Scope spec needs to be here. Okay, it needs to be much shinier on the scope. Okay, and if I page down where I'm not looking at the crazy faceting anymore, you can tell what I'm looking at. Okay, so now what I actually want to do now is do a little bit of decal work, but what I'm going to do is do this in Photoshop because I can have some alignment tools, which I don't really have here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this decal template. Okay, and I'm going to mark myself some stuff. Alright, this is actually a useful and handy thing to do. I'm not going to use a stamp. I'm not going to use any spacing. I'm going to mark it in green. Okay, so what I want to do is I just want to run a line down here like that, and then I want to point that that's forward. Okay, and I want to do the same thing here and point that that is forward. Okay, I also want to delineate that that is forward. Okay, and that's about all I want to do. I kind of want to mark that, like right here, I kind of want to do something like this down the length of this thing. Okay, I need to be at my higher facet level to actually paint on this better. Okay, so I want to have something like that with stuff like this. Let's make the brush a little bit smaller. Okay, so I'm just going to mark that. Logo. Okay, I'm going to do here, and I'm just going to kind of show that. Make sure I don't pass into this area here on accident. Okay, I'm also going to do that here. Okay, and I'm going to do halfway here. Just going to make my brush a little bit bigger so I can erase that, and then come back here, and what I'm going to do is like this. Okay, so now if I take this and I export that here, HuntingRifle scope, I'll just call it diffuse for now, and we come into Photoshop. Okay, and you can see that I can officially see where I'm all lined up. Alright? And how these pieces are like unfolding. So now what I can do is I can say, okay, let's just make a new layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this markings. Alright? I'm going to take this layer and I'm going to make it like, I'm going to unlock it, and I'm going to make it like maybe 30%. The markings I'm going to do like, no, not the markings. The markings I want to be 0. The decal template I want to be like 20% because I don't want it to get in my way. I'm also going to hit tab so that tab and then tab again so that I can get my my stuff right. Alright, so what I want to do is get a brush that is very simple. No scattering, no transfer, no noise. I want it smooth. I want full here. Everything else is turned off. And I want to come in, take this, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click with white at this point here and go all the way down to this point here, and hopefully I'm not stupid. Actually, I am stupid. I did that on the wrong layer and my line is a little thick. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click and hold shift and drag down and let the screen scroll. Okay. Come here halfway between them and delete that. Alright. Let me check where the crappy. Don't do that. Okay, I'm holding Alt for F's sake. I want the 1 to be like right where the 1 is. So what I'm going to do too is hit the text tool, type a 1, hit Control T, and I want it to be white. Okay, I want to rotate it. Alright, and I want to make it quite a bit smaller, so about like that. And now I want to type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and leave it at that. Okay, and now I can take these and I can spread them out. Like so. That's a little much. Okay, notice I don't get an update until I like click on something, which sucks. It will though if you use this and just hit Control A. Now it'll actually update like on time. I also want the paragraph to be aligned left, justified, because it's going to be easier for me. The 1 won't move now. So just hit Control A, and I'll just pull this in until I feel good. Okay. Now that will wrap around, but not all the way around. Okay. Now it's up to me to determine whether or not I want to say it's going to keep going up to like 20 or something. But I think what I'm actually going to do is keep it just 1 through 9 where it is. Not to be lazy, but design-wise, I want this I want it that way. Okay. Now let me figure out which spot is like, God damn it, Alt. Pretty much 2.5 is like right on the top. So I'm going to say that this, and actually let me take a look, is that, yeah, it's actually that segment there, okay? So this segment here. So what I'm going to do is come back here and drag a line like that. Okay? And now I'm kind of thinking how I should best do this, because I'm going to make a new layer. If I do this guide here, I could probably, oops, I'm going to hold shift. Now if I hold control and click this, I can kind of move this like so. Okay, holding Alt and Shift here. With the selection, it's not making new layers. Okay, if I hit Control D, I should be able to move this to line up with my actual dots, with my actual text. Maybe 1 pixel up. Alright. So that's that. Now I could say that I only want this line to go from here to here. like that. Just go back and forth and let the anti-aliasing fill it in for me. So that's one way to do it. I mean, I don't mind that too much. Okay. The other thing is I want to have this section here to about that edge or so. So what I'm going to do is get markings here. I'm going to make a new group. I'm going to call this measurements. I can hide it. Alright. And here I want to have lines going vertically. Now the thing is I've got a couple of things here. I think I've got a hex pattern. I think I've also got a diamond plate. Let's go by name here. Diamond grip. See how I've got this shape here? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to select it and go to Edit, Define Pattern. I'm going to call this Diamond Grip. Okay, and now I'm going to go back to my scope here, and on a new layer, I'm going to call this Grips. I'm going to fill that with black. Okay, the other black. And then I'm going to come here and do Pattern Overlay, Diamond Grip, and pull that scale way down. See that? Okay. Now, I want to take this and go about halfway through and conform it to that one and make a new layer. And I'll call this lines. And I have another image in my stamps. Horizontal lines. Okay. Edit, define pattern. I'll keep it that name, just get rid of the PNG. Okay, and I'll just grab this and drag that there and choose the other pattern. Okay, now the scale on this guy needs to come down quite a bit more. 1%, and you actually can't go like 0.05 or anything like that. It's like value between 1 and 0 is all you can do. You know, it's kind of a dick about it. This isn't bad. However, if I really wanted to, what I could do is, if I wanted to tighten that up, I could make a new layer, a new file, 512 by 512. Okay, I will fill this with black. I will give it the pattern. I will scale it down until hopefully it matches up. Maybe I need to do by quarters here. I'm not exactly sure how this math is going to work. Let me try 25%. Yep, that looks good. Okay, and then the other thing I want to do is I want to get the fill opacity out of here. I believe that I'm seeing that because of the transparency. Okay, so I'm going to make a brand new layer that's empty and just collapse them. Come here and go Edit, Define Pattern. So I'm defining a smaller pattern. Okay, we'll just call that pattern 2. I don't give a shit. And then we come back to our scope. And if we pick that one, you can see how fine that is. Okay. Probably a little too fine, maybe. Let's go maybe 10. Actually, it's so fine that it's actually kind of glitching. Let's try 50%. Nah, I don't mind that. Okay. So what I've got is like a double style pattern, and I can take this now and I can actually make a dupe of it over to here. Okay, and if I show my measurements, so this is where you grab it, you know? You can grab it like on the front or whatnot. Now, this one I actually want to move back to line up perfectly. However, I want to go forward because I want it to not break on mip mapping. I need it to be over the bleed. I just want to make sure that if it's going to do anything stupid, like cut through this stuff, I want that to be hidden. Okay. I also want my lines to be here as well, but I want them scaled out like that. Now I also want another version here. Now this is going to be a little fun and tricky. There. Now this one, I'm actually going to make this one like 20% or something because it's going to hurt my eyes after a while. And what I want to do is use my pen tool and match this curve. Actually, I think I can match this curve with just 2 points. So if all this line here, oops, yep, BSD, now I gotta click and then hold shift. Okay. I'm gonna hide this because it does in fact hurt my eyes. So pull that up a little bit, which means I need to pull that down a little bit. There we go, that's pretty good. I need to pull this down a little bit, which means I need to counter that by pulling this up a little bit till we get that balance. Alright. And now, what I want to do is continue off of here and go to here, 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 right through there, and close it. And if I select it, right click and make selection, I can mask that, and then I can come over here and just kind of trim it off a little bit. You know what, I lost the actual selection, so I'm gonna, with the selection made, I'm actually gonna make a new layer because I want to capture that. Okay, and I'll use it to mask now, like so. And then what I want to do is I want to take this and move it like that. And use that to ditch the rest. And now if I make this 0, okay, you see I get this kind of cool pattern going through. And it's going to be a little weird, maybe. Might be a little weird, I don't know. We'll see what we get. So the logo goes that way. These are all bump map, by the way. They're not going to be white. The logo... I don't know what I'll do for the logo. Bread? Do a hot dog. Let's see. Yeah, got a rat bow, got a butterfly, got some camo, got some Celtic symbols. Some rock. Cloth button. DVD. Some sci-fi paneling again. Don't walk. These are all things that I just needed to put on some model somewhere. Got this right here. High heat. This could be interesting. If I just got rid of the high and low heat, I could have the green and red part. I've got this electricity dial. Carbon fiber, fish scales. I'm just kind of thinking I'm going to go with Racco. To be honest, I can just project this on the model. I don't care. Okay, so I'll just, I'll go from here. Okay, so I'm going to make a new group from this. I'm going to call this bumps. Okay, and I'm just going to show that by itself. And we'll see what we get if I go File, Save As, Scope Layer, PNG, because I don't need to keep saving these. Okay, because what I can do is I can say right click, import layer, and tell it to go on the bump map. And you see what I get. Looks badass. Okay, particularly that diamond grip looks really nice. Alright, and I go back to Photoshop, hide that, show that, name it the same thing. This time this is going to be on diffuse. Import layer, rifle sculpt layer, and we'll stick it on diffuse. And get rid of the decal template. It might be a little large and in charge. I do feel like it's a little large and in charge. So first off, the lines here is entirely too thick. These, select, modify, contract by 2 pixels, Control Shift I and delete. And delete, and delete, and delete. Okay, you see how much thinner that got? My font, it's a little big still. I think. Which means I have to... But I need to get the 9 lined up. That's what I need. There we go. And that means everything else lines up. Okay. And I want to move it to about there. Actually, I need it to be like there, and like that. That feels better. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get away with this. Yeah. That looks okay, I think. Much better. Okay, decals. I can dump the decal template now. And let's go to our projection tool and project our Ratco logo. Which, sir? Just make sure I'm painting with white. Okay. Again, from the, it's not going to be like in your face all the time. Only people that run up to you go, hey, dude, you got a Ratco logo on your gun. If they say anything, if they go, dude, do you seriously have a Ratco logo on your gun? That's fucking stupid. You know, that might be what they say. And to those people, I say, okay. Alright. Now, I'm gonna kind of fiddle around with some stuff. Just to play around, see what I can figure out here. Really? Am I tiling? Oh, I only turned off show tiles. Like a jackhole. Okay, so that was between that one. So what I want to do is I want to go around the whole thing with that. So I'm going to export layer this time. Okay, which is export selected. And I want it as a PNG, and I'm just going to replace that layer there. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Photoshop, show my black here, open, and it's all cut off, so I'm just going to go by details. Layer PNG, open that, and I'm going to come here to the scope. Where the hell's the scope? Okay, I got some things I need to close, apparently. Here we go. Okay, I can show this. And what I can do is wipe one of these out. Take this and shift it to it fills center. Hold Control. Then I can do Control H. And now I can determine a pretty even spacing just by eye here. Okay, you notice I went off the edge. This probably isn't going to line up as good as I would normally hope. Okay, show this by itself. You bastard. Alright, so then we do that. Just had to close that, that's all. Import layer. Bump map. Now the bumps here. Let's hide this. These can get wiped on out. Does go over the Ratco logo, so maybe I want to not have that happen, so it's kind of almost like it was designed around the logo. See what I'm saying? And I can always say, hey, you know, tone it back. I can also adjust color here and select a preset of inverse. Okay, I get a little bit of like, almost want to say it's like manufacturing glitch, you know, like where I get these little points. I kind of like it, to be honest. I kind of think it helps. And again, if I go down, you know, it makes it look like, you know, it's fundamentally like built like that. And I actually have a flashlight that has this in it. I have one of those really super expensive LED flashlights that shines blue. Given to me as a gift years ago, and its batteries are still working. It's like 10 years old. Alright, I'm not real sure what else I really want to do to it, to be honest. Anything more I do to it is kind of pushing it. Kind of pushing it. I do have... Just curious, I'm wondering if I do something like this. If that... It doesn't make any sense. It's a red, green, and white dot, you know? But it's there, you know? It's there. It's already done. I can't take it back. Could put a target on the side. And then The acorn. or or the snake. It's like I said, it's like anything I do now is just like I'm reaching, you know? It's not like that doesn't look cool or anything. I already actually have that on the helicopter. I can put this chick on there. That doesn't make any sense. Here, I'll just put her tits. It's just a pair of boobs. Um, hmm. What else could I do? I guess I could put some of this kind of stuff. If I do that, I need to put that like on the bumps. And this actually could come in handy, to be honest. Let's look at it from the top. Uh, what? Like I don't really know what else to do. I do have more shapes. I could do some sci-fi paneling on it. Maybe. Because I have these lines here. This line work. Like I said, you know, like I could do stuff like which is just as pointless as anything else. I mean, it really is. It's everything that I'm doing at this point is freaking pointless. It's just to try to make it look more interesting than it actually is. You know, something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna call it done, dudes. I can't. There's nothing else I want to do. Anything else I do to it is ridiculous. This already has more stuff on it than my scope. Mine has adjustment knobs and stuff like that, but mine does actually have this diamond grip, which looks fantastic, by the way. That really shines. That's nice. These grips are okay too. Just out of curiosity. If I blur it, does that look better or worse? Yeah, definitely worse. Now, let's see if lowering it makes it look better. Lowering it doesn't make it look bad, but honestly, I like it all crazy deep. Maybe 75%. Should I put dirt on it? I gotta put something on it, right? Let's dirty her up. We'll go for it. I'll use a softer dirt. I won't use green dirt. I'll make it actually a little bit more desaturated and a little bit darker. Okay, stamp image. Let's get some spacing up in this. And that's fine. So it's just gonna scuff it up some. Let's go flat lighting. obscure the logo a little bit so it's not so blatant and bright, you know? Normally I do dirt with a much less strength. But my hands, like I said, are literally on fire. If I hide the black layer, I can actually see a little bit better. But keeping in mind, I don't want to go too dark, because it'd be easy to go too dark now that I can't see what the hell I'm doing. Or what I'm actually painting it against. Alright, I need to go up some sub-Ds so I can actually paint in these areas. Am I randomizing? I am. Kind of feels like I'm not. You gotta be careful not to hit that bolt too many times, because every time I touch it in any spot, it places it down everywhere. So it's like adding and adding and adding and adding. It's going crazy on me. So I just need to be careful about that. Same thing with this this piece here. If I go too crazy, it's on both of them. I gotta remember that. See how I've already painted this edge here? It's because I did that on the other side, so I gotta try to not hit that again. Yeah, I'll hit it a little bit. It doesn't really matter too much, but I don't want the dirt to be like, you know, full solid or anything. Real light on doing that right there, by the way. I don't want that to be very powerful at all. Okay, once again, light dusting. And in fact, a really light dusting. I'm only going to go 10%. Okay, let's show this. Now the dirt's really powerful against this black. Too much is what it is. But I can see where I'm painting it, which is good. So the amount of shift that I'm doing is good. And I'm also going to... I'm actually going to boost it a little bit more on the top, just a little bit. Okay. And now, I just back it off. That was kind of dusty. Now if I kick that up with lighting, you can see that it's still got dirt on it, but the dirt's not really affecting the specular. Now if I take this and duplicate that and move that to specular, and I stick it on the top of everything, and I adjust the color, I can get a good, I think I'll get a good balance. It's pretty good so far. It is not bad. The right parts are shining. The normals or whatever, they're okay. I dig what's going on here. I dig what's going on here. I actually really dig what's going on here. It feels like it's actually manufactured out. Even these weird imperfections inside of there are helping it. I don't know if I care about that or not. Whatever. Other than that, yeah. This is a little off from the actual angle of the thing, but I'm going to go ahead and chalk it up to, hey, they designed it like that because they're a bunch of dickheads. Even though I'm the dickhead. So, I could actually continue my trend and put dirt in these here. Now, I really do not want to go through here and do all of that. That is not happening, folks. I'm sorry. If you wanted to see that, then you're not going to. Okay, the dirt layer is... Am I even painting anything anymore? Yeah, it's there. It's just the lighting information's not allowing it to show up so great. Okay, what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to use the dirt layer because I'm going to cheat. I'm just tired. And I want that to be like shiny and kind of an asterisk in a sense. A little brighter there on all of those. Okay, and then we'll move. And then we go here, done, and I'm just going to fade that out like that. Alright. Oh my god, my back, my neck, and my ass, and my hands, and my elbows. I am a wreck. I feel like I've been to war and I've just been sitting on my computer. I'm like the biggest cliche, right? So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this so far, and hopefully you like the results of what we're looking at here. I think it looks pretty good. Looks like a scope. Certainly doesn't look like a toaster or a piggy bank. So, Hippo signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next part. Will there be a next part? I don't know.